Hello and welcome back to CK2, where we are joining foreshadowing maybe, Duke Conrad the Fifth of Franconia, who has recently made a little bit of an attempt to unify his domains a bit, making conquests here in Meissen, retracting Nuremberg from the Duke of my rival, who used to be, I believe, actually I recall that he used to be the spy master under my father or grandfather, I'm not sure, but that was like 30 years ago probably or something. We ended up with a rivalry with him. I don't know how it actually happened, and he would be a great spy master, he would also be a great diplomat, but of course we are rivals for one reason or another. Isn't that like a ledger feature that they added at some point in this game? Wikipedia link? No. Do I have not some sort of ledger how I became maybe a rival with this person? Isn't that a possibility to see that? Great works. Bloodlines, we don't have them. Yeah, if you know, you tell me, right? I don't know. There must be some sort of feature for that, or is that only a CK3 feature? I thought they added like some sort of ledger where you could see the history of a character. Maybe I'm mistaken. But I have a weak claim on Orova. Yeah, question is if I would ever press that, truth be told. I could not declare war because I don't have a casus belli. So basically it needs to be led by somebody unsuitable, like a woman or a child. In which case I could declare on Poland. Not that I would want to do that, although they are fairly weak right now. So that is without question. But we could claim Breisgau for a court chaplain. If I did that, would I gain him as a vassal? Actually, I don't know. Would I gain him as a vassal? I think so, maybe. This casus belli to press the claim if Duke Conrad holds a higher tier title and is of the same dynasty as the Werf, or if he's the de jure liege of Breisgau, he will also become a vassal of mine. So we're not either, because Breisgau, I'm pretty sure, belongs to Baden, and technically we have Baden, but the Breisgau we do not own. So that is out of the question for us to press that type of thing. Our brother owns us a favor. Our brother who rules up here in the north. He's our guy to improve relationships. We are not ambitious enough that it makes sense to fabricate a claim anywhere else right now. So the only thing that we could say is like maybe our father kind of instilled in us that we had the claims on Württemberg and Ulm. And we should maybe get them back. Yeah, maybe. Alright, I'm convincing myself, because otherwise this game gets a little bit boring, potentially, if you don't have any wars. So let's get the time ticking. We also have to worry a bit about we're also craven, so truth be told, we should not declare too many wars, but, it's good to have options. We should also recover our troops. That is definitely important, that we become strong enough that nobody gets any stupid ideas, such as retracting Würzburg from us. Isn't that right, King Popo? You would not do something like stupid like that. Sitting there in Zurich with your mask disfigured. Face only few could love. So I could instruct my steward to become Flattering. I did that last episode as well. So I suppose we're trying to get everybody convinced that flat terrain is the way to go. Even though, truth be told, it's quite hilly here, right? You have the Taunus area here. You have the Bergstraße here, near Weinsberg, whatever Weinsberg is. And then here in the Breisgau is already the Black Forest region. So basically we are in a very hilly region, maybe. Well, not over here, but nonetheless we kind of specialized in that. And we lost our court chaplain. That is unfortunate. So the Bishop of Meissen wants to get that job, I think. Yes. Proselytize, we already established that there's no need. Awesome. So I think the last thing we did was researching cultural tech. So let's do that. and our nephew can get a focus, so I think we can never have enough stewards. What would you like to have? Count of Swabia, we're thinking maybe to get into conflict with you. Not sure if I want to want a favor from you. Let's say no. So we are, for some time now, my son, Count Conrad, next one, he's not our heir, right? No. Who's our heir? Our heir will be Hartmann. Unless Conrad kills him. Let's not think of that. For some time, my son, Count Conrad, has become overcome with fatigue and is troubled by persistent cough. I have been informed that the symptoms are due to pneumonia. All right, not a native English speaker. Please forgive. Calling the court physician, of course. Please take care of my son. Who is my court physician? It would be the handsome Theodoric, who is the great pox himself. He's one-eyed, gluttonous, slothful, a zealous individual, but he's a renowned physician. He's a eunuch. A questionable character to some degree, but also, why am I calling him the handsome? He's one-eyed eunuch. I think that title is unfortunately a little bit skeptical. I'm a bit skeptical on this. But there we go. We have still 2 characters pinned. Let me remind myself why. The usurper. Würzburg prospers, of course. That's very nice. I do not recall, except maybe my kinswoman here is his... yes, he will inherit. That's good. Request council support from the Duchess of Carrington. I don't have any opinion on you, except you're a drunkard, gluttonous, stressed woman. I do not believe that would be in my interest, thank you. And then we have Conrad. Here, the Duke of Hessen, our father's friend. We usurped mines from him. He used to be actually his ancestors, I think, used to be the rulers over Franconia as well, until he became independent. And they also used to rule Cologne, I remember. They used to rule Cologne. They no longer do. Now they rule Trier along the Mosel. King Poppo, a holy war for Pomerania. Okay. What? They rule Pomerania. This is like a mess here in the eastern territories here. All right. If you think so, that makes sense. I think so. Yeah. All right. That seems like a good war, my liege. That seems like an excellent war. I'm advising him as the steward that we hopefully have the required money to fund this war. Do we? My liege, our coffers are empty. My liege. So let's see, we are doing the training ground here. We do have a bit of pocket money still from our job, so we can think about what we want to do. Maybe establishing a bit of light cavalry. Could be an option in Leiningen. There's also maybe some other options. Jousting, stables, okay. Kaiserslautern. Here we have the ability to do stables, everywhere stables. Training grounds actually is probably the best, like morale of armies and levy reinforcement and retinue size. Yeah, for sure. Do we actually have the ability to get a retinue? In theory, yes, we can get a retinue. Should we get a retinue? Does that make sense? What is the upkeep for them? I mean, we do earn good money. I think that shouldn't be a problem. Okay. You have a finger. Thanks. So I think archers, I remember, were always good. Council support for the usurper. So you're married to my sister or something. Kinswoman. Aunt of some sort. So I will support him. And the court chaplain once again found an early demise. So should we, our doctor, should he become the court chaplain as well, or should we give that to a proper bishop? I think we'll give it to a bishop. So, I was invited to a friend's sermon and it was a catastrophe. Immediately, the poor man stumbled, lost his words. It was all an incomprehensible mess. And he wants an opinion. I didn't dare tell him that. I didn't dare tell him. He's not really my friend, right? No. I didn't dare tell Bishop Nikolaus that I thought about his sermon. I just smiled and nodded nervously when Bishop Nikolaus talked to me. Okay. He's a cynical man. I mean, I'm not overly religious myself. I'm a little bit shy. I didn't dare tell him. Also a bit too non-confrontational to really, get him out of this. But I realized that I made maybe the wrong choice here. Certainly. I see that we can shut the gates, but there's no epidemic going on here, right? No. It's just always an option here. Promoting commanders. I was thinking to hold a feast. That was why I'm looking at this map. So let's hold a summer feast. To celebrate something, rather. I had invited a monkey trainer to the summer fair and the performance went well until one of the monkeys refused to ride on top of a pig. The trainer beat the monkey with a stick, which led the other monkeys to attack the trainer, biting him and hitting him with his own stick. It serves him right, I think. Here's your money. Yeah, I mean, it serves him right. I think this animal cruelty is not something that we necessarily enjoy, and we're a kind person. And Marshal Mayor Alarish caught the peddlers stealing stolen goods. Execute them publicly. We're not just or something, so we're kind, temperate. I would say seize the gold and lock him up. We don't want to be like overly cruel, I think. And that war is going fabulously for our liege. Though there are people on the opposite side. The peddlers are loading their wares and the merchants are taking down their stalls, the jugglers strolling. The players find other entertainments to prepare to leave. The summer fair is over. A little bit of prestige never hurt, and it was a fun affair for everybody involved. So why not? Our retinue has almost recovered, or rather our army. And we were discussing retinue just now. So I think archers are always something I liked quite a lot. I don't remember why. I think it was the meta at the time. So maybe having heavy infantry and archers. Why not? Let's go for it. We'll get a little bit of that. So let's see. Hopefully that is a good choice. How much does it cost? I think reinforcement cost is pretty high. But that's okay. So we'll have a standing army. Because we know that we are a little bit frightened of things, a little bit craven. We want to have the protection of the standing army. Personal combat skill is, of course, extremely low. Despite our focus switch, I think we might switch away from that focus because it was more of a spur of the moment kind of thing. I think we're actually much more interested in rulership, especially since we became the steward. So let's focus on exactly that. I know that it lowers significantly, very likely, my military that I can have. I think there was quite a lot actually again. Wow, okay. That's not great, but I think with the standing army we'll have enough defense that I will not be too scared. So Dresden is still a little bit slowly reinforcing. Probably it requires the most investment in the whole realm. I think one of the downsides is these raiders here, right? Whatever they are. That my retinue here will be easy pickings for them. We also have a hospital here, which we never really invested in a lot. Well, it's considerably expensive to invest anything here, but we can now. So maybe we can siphon some of our excess money there as well. The Pomeranians are up here in this war. They're sieging back. Oh my god. It actually looks a little bit more dire now. Is there any possibility to see the size of the armies? I think I shall join the Holy War. Just for, because it's our lord that would be the right thing to do as a loyal person. I will not personally lead, of course. He will gladly accept my joining, as expected. Oh, I think there's no chance that we would ever be in time here. So let's try to get here to the Lausitz area. Oh, he has 9,000 troops here. So never mind. I was thinking I will bring the tide to this battle, like make everything right, but it seems like he's well equipped to deal with things by himself as well. Our lord. Okay, let's see who's leading the charge. I do think it would make sense to get a few commanders, so let's promote some commanders. Alright, a courtier here. Yes, I suppose he will do. Would be nice to get some better ones, but that's fine. Oh, he's really assaulting things. Yeah, now he's up for revenge, our lord. Alright. Yeah, he's really throwing his troops there. I shall lead the battle then, my lord. Across the Vistula. As I retired to my chambers, I was shocked to find a copy of the Legend of the Slavic Faith on my bed. At first I thought someone had left it there with the intention to frame me, but then I noticed a little note left on the open tome. I think you will find this interesting. Please give it a chance. Signed, a friend. So I'm a bit shy. Never, I will hide it where no one should find it, and we could become paranoid. Or I could read it. So I'm sympathetic, I'm a bit craven, I'm kind, I'm temperate. I think I'd find it intriguing, to be honest. I will read the Legends of the Slavic Faith. Whatever we can maybe take from it, why not? Alright, my king has won. Is there any chance that you might distribute some lands to me, my lord? I think not. I think it was already... You kind of just conquered it, and the people were there already Christian. The copy of the Slavic, the Legends I found in my chambers had been left open, but on the passage of a greater question, right and wrong, the higher purpose of the afterlife, and I pondered the Slavic perspective on these matters. I found myself intrigued enough to continue reading. I have been blinded, but I see now I have never read truer words. But becoming Slavic, I think that is a bit of a question. I was just looking at her because she looked like none, my wife. Like becoming Slavic, meh. If you had like some prior conflict with the church, then maybe. But reading this has affirmed my confidence in my own beliefs. I think we just took like some, interesting tales about Perun and the legends of whatever we read there, but not really that we want to actually become Slavic. I think that would be going definitely too far. Let's bring our retinue home. It takes quite a long time for the retinue to actually reinforce. 13 per month is quite slow, certainly. We could press a few more claims. Let's take a look at that. We could claim Münster from my rival. Now that does seem a bit far-fetched. I would not necessarily want him to become more powerful. We could press it for the Countess of Baden, his wife. Likewise, a little bit far-fetched. Oh, both of his children died of cancer. My half-brother, he's married new now. Okay. Yeah, so who is inheriting? My kinswoman, the wife of the Duke of the North there. I see. Alright, I think that is acceptable. What I wanted to see is like we could claim something here, doesn't make sense. We could claim Breisgau for Ademar Werf. We already looked at that, I think, more or less. Yeah, Duchy of Munster, like that's the only thing, but that's the whole duchy even. Like, why would we even give him a duchy? That would be crazy. No, I think we're fine. Yeah, we would lose a few title losses on succession. Question is if we would ever change our succession laws, maybe that's an option to look into eventually. No vassal has a negative opinion, that will be hard. I think we know that our brother's inheritance caused a bit of a stir for us. A nephew, well, looks like you will be going a faith education, looks like you're a bit of a bastard. I know it caused quite a stir for our sons to, or for our brothers to inherit so much, and we had to like spend a bit of time consolidating. So perhaps we would want to more Conrad, our nephew. He looks like he could be a good warrior, so let's give him that education. I think we could realize that for us it was smart to distribute to our sons ourselves, so that maybe that should be like the more of the policy, that we find like sense in like being a bit smarter about that, and that could give us the idea that we would like to switch to something else. But elective gavelkind makes no sense. Seniority, primogeniture would make sense, but we don't have the knowledge of that yet. Elective monarchy, like to switch to the system that we have in Germany. I think that's really dangerous for us. Ultimogeniture makes no sense as well. So basically we would have to have late feudal administration or imperial administration to get to primogeniture. Otherwise seniority is kind of the only one where the oldest member of the dynasty inherits. I think nobody would want to do that really. Primogeniture is the main thing that we would go for, but high feudal, I don't know what it would be. Popular customs, cities. I think it would be legalism, right? Late feudal administration, yeah. Heavy tax, centralized. Late feudal administration. Okay. So basically we would just have to raise firstly the feudal laws, I think. Or something like that. Let me just check that. So we are here on the inheritance and we have the realm. So obligations, council. Obligations are fine. Realm, to have it. We need to have it more centralized. I don't know. Status of woman. Allowed to hold powers? Who cares? Centralization. Has the law medium centralization? Like, where is that feudal law basically that I'm looking for? Late feudal administration or imperial administration? Not sure. Maybe we need to go somewhere here. So basically it would give us lower vassal limit but higher our own management. Would we strive for that? I think so, in theory, but not necessarily with, like, we don't have a huge interest in it, but like, why not? But I don't think that's the one that allows us this one. Maybe it's on the centralization of the whole place here. I'm not sure, like where we get high feudal. Okay, a party of soldiers flying the banner of Baron Augustine of Stahleck The Stalegs used to be our diplomats, this family. And they're again on the brink of dying out because their son died as an infant, so we will actually inherit their domain. So perhaps it is interesting for us, since they are an old family, that we marry into it and make sure maybe that our last son could become the inheritor. I think so. That could be very interesting. But let's first read what they actually. They're flying the banner. Recently set up camp in the middle of the field belonging to a farmer in Würzburg. According to the farmer, the campfire spread out of control and the entire crop was reduced to ashes. He has brought the matter before your court and demands compensation. He must compensate the farmer. I think he has enough money. The fire was a divine act, no one is responsible. Or I shall pay for it. Let's say I will pay for it. I think so. We're kind. And let's figure out, like, she's 29. Let's maybe marry the younger one of them. Not me personally, of course, but rather our son. Our youngest. Yes, please. And I will pay for that. And I've become just. Ruling from the court has increased your sense of justice. Your judgments have profound effect on the life of the subjects. I've become more fair in these things. Very good, very good. And yeah, my youngest, hopefully, he will marry the Stalag girl. Indeed they will. And once my friend here passes away, we shall award it to my youngest son, this barony of Stalag, so that the family in one way kind of continues with the daughter. Is Pils not our territory? It's my wife's. For Christ's sake. How could you raiders think that that is acceptable? And now you're fleeing to Prague. And beyond even. I shall hunt you down. If I can find you. So my steward Arnold has some ideas what to improve. I think that makes sense. Economic spread rate 100%, please do. Alright, we shall return home. Childhood focus. She looks like she will focus on heritage. We can stand down. So we have a holy war for Pomerania. Again, more or less. They're all against the Lower Silesians. Title revocation? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, that's interesting. We should also keep an eye out for like that. Who's this person here? Southern Bohemia. It's part of this realm. Erdem realm, which is Christian. Has become Christian. Fascinating. But we do have a Liberate Bohemia. Seize all the titles that belong to that. Why do we have that? Because he's nomadic, I suppose, and just because of reasons. Does that make sense? I think we are not really like that pushy for that type of thing. We're still a bit shy and craven. But we have sympathy for the pagans. I think that is not our character's thing to do, but interesting that we could. Yes, we have voted against the title revocation. Yes. We all know where this is leading us. It just means a civil war where somebody gets killed. We all know this. What are you doing there, my friend? You're trying to kill people. Oh, this is a good plot. Alois, Spy Master of Saxony. I want in. We cannot. I see. Okay. Adulterer. lover, seducer. Crazy. Yes, we wanted to build up here in Dresden a few things. There's certainly the options for that, to be able to keep up. And being on your liege's counts is not always easy. So the Bishop of Kappel. You have a huge amount of work that need attention. There's so much to do as it could use help. He will get a favor or will lose prestige. And I might become depressed. I am already depressed, I think. Or stressed. I'm not depressed yet. Okay, makes sense. No, I don't mind owing a favor to this person. I think I'm very grateful if he will help me a bit. But yeah, oh, we lost again. Probably, oh, our marshal, unfortunately. Whose was our marshal? Marienberg. Okay, don't remember anything noteworthy about him. But it seems like your successor, the mayor of Marienberg, he's a great person to be on the council. Alternatively, my son could qualify for it in some small way, not in a good way, truth be told. He's not as capable for it. And he loves me already, so I will go with his successor and do that. Yes. And educate my child here, or who is my nephew, to become perhaps a bit more capable in stewardship. And with that, I shall call the episode here. Thank you for watching. See you next time.